By the way, these candies take 73 minutes to chew all the way. For the next hour, you're going to be chewing this thing.
I agree.
Welcome to the podcast. What's your name?
You're listening to the B&H Photography Podcast. For over 40 years, B&H has been the professional source for photography, video, audio, and more. For your favorite gear, news, and reviews, visit us at bnh.com or download the B&H app to your iPhone or Android device. Now here's your host, Alan Weitz.
Greetings and welcome to the B&H Photography Podcast. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're recording in the B&H New York City SuperStore. You could even hear the background noise. And today it's a Panasonic Lumix Day. We're interviewing people who are hoping to win a Panasonic Lumix DMC GX85 micro 4/3 digital camera with two lenses, a 12 to 32 millimeter zoom and a 45 to 150 millimeter zoom. And we are going to be giving those away to a lucky pedestrian at some point later today. In the meantime, people are coming by and filling out the little sweepstakes forms and dropping in the bowl. And some of them are sitting and chatting with us. And that's what most of today's conversation is going to be about. Talking with our customers, what kind of pictures they take, what kind of pictures they're going to want to take if they are the winner of the camera system, and get to know our customers a little bit. Today, we're also going to be speaking to several of the Panasonic ambassadors who are here speaking at the B&H event space, and they are, what are the names of the photographers? We have three photographers.
Well, William Innes just finished speaking.
Yeah.
He's a wedding photographer. And we have Griffin Hammond, who's a documentary filmmaker. And finally, Jeff Carpenter, who's also a portrait photographer. They are going to present in the event space, and after the presentation, they'll sit with us for a couple minutes.
Cool. All right. That's it. Let's talk to our first interviewee. What's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph. You are a photographer?
Well, not professional, but every now and then I pull my iPhone out and take pictures.
What's your favorite picture you've ever taken? What picture it makes you proudest?
Favorite picture I've ever taken was one with my nephews, actually two of them. So one when he was, I think about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Held him up in the air and took a picture that way. When he turned 2 years old, I took another one.
This time he was picking you up?
No, I was holding my nephew. I was actually holding my nephew up in both those pictures there.
That's cool. Very, very good. So we're raffling off a Panasonic Lumix GX85 today. If you are the lucky winner, what are you going to do with the camera? And two lenses.
And two lenses. This is amazing. I travel a lot.
Yeah?
I love nature. I like going out there, exploring nature. I bike ride a lot, mountain biking. I think this will be a great opportunity to get my experiences out there.
Yeah.
I can take pictures of the iPhones, but this camera here looks very...
Oh, it's a real camera. It's not much bigger than your iPhone. That's what's interesting. It's fairly small.
But it looks very intriguing. It looks something... I don't know what word to use, but I think if I get this camera here, it definitely push me out there to...
I think your nephew will have a whole new level of respect for you, too.
It'll definitely develop. That's a good one there, yeah. I'm sure he will. I'm surprised he's not here now. But I think it'll definitely develop my interest in photography a lot more.
Very good. Very good. And it does great video also. That's one of the things about it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Capture family moments, important moments in life, you know.
Well, tell me, what did you like so much about the picture with your nephew? What was it that...
It was just,
compared to all the other ones you probably did take, right?
Yeah, I did take a lot of pictures with him and my other nephews. I have 11 nieces and nephews. But this one picture, it captured a moment where he's growing. And it's like you capture a moment in time where he's a little kid and then he's growing. It's like progress in life, you know? Yeah. And just seeing him with me in that happy moment there as I'm holding him up, just raising him up. It's like you're uplifting him in a metaphor, you know? It's like you're raising him up. It's beyond words to me, but it just brought on that feeling of tranquility, knowing that he's here.
Right.
And because I also play a great role in his life, so just to have me hold him up like that, it's something physical, but it's also a metaphor for something mental.
I hear you.
I get the impression you really love these kids.
more than words could tell.
Well, that's great. Enjoy them all. Enjoy them all.
Always.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us, and good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi there.
Hello.
Your name is?
Trevor Price.
Trevor, and you're from where?
Denver.
Whoa, okay.
Just on vacation?
Yeah.
All right. So you came to B&H for vacation?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, how many days are you going to stay here?
Just 3 days.
In the store?
No.
Oh, okay. Because there are people that do stay here for 3 days in a row. They don't leave.
Don't blame them.
Yeah.
So, do you know about B&H before you came to New York?
Yeah.
Really?
I've always wanted to come here.
Wow.
Is it everything you
Tourist
expected it to
destination,
be?
Better.
That's wonderful.
Do you know about the B&H Photo Podcast?
No.
All right. Well, you better subscribe now.
Okay, I will.
All
'Cause you're
right,
on
I
it
love
now.
That's
Okay,
fantastic.
cool.
And do you take a lot of pictures?
I do. Yeah.
Do you carry your camera with you a lot, or?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a regular shooter, right?
Yeah, I am.
And what do you like to take pictures of?
I like wildlife and landscape.
Okay.
Oh, you
Hey,
live in a good place for that.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And can you name the favorite photo that you've ever taken and tell us why?
It was in Steamboat, Colorado, and it was of a moose when it was raining.
Oh, wow.
And I just today took pictures of that cool duck in Central Park.
Oh, I
you
heard
saw
about
it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty
great.
cool.
I understand it has an agent already.
And so you like taking pictures of wildlife. Do you have a long lens on your cameras, or what do you use?
I use a 75 to 300
Okay.
for long stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you can get in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Okay.
That's great. So, if you were to win this GX85 by Panasonic, what would you do with it? How would it change your photography?
I know the Panasonics are really good for video. So
Yeah.
True.
I'd take a lot of videos on it
Right.
and just use it for regular photography.
Great answer.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you win.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
All right. And
And
subscribe
welcome to
the
B&H,
podcast.
and welcome to the B&H podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it. Good job. Who am I speaking to?
I'm Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. Nice to meet you, and welcome to the B&H Photography Podcast. You're obviously here because you want to win a camera,
Yes.
but one of the things you have to do is tell us what's your the favorite photo that you've ever taken and why.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
Yes, it is.
I may not have taken it yet.
Ah, good answer. I like that.
So-
I like that.
I mean, oh gosh, there's a lot of photos. I think probably the most dramatic photo I've ever taken was when I was at Glacier National Park, and I was overlooking one of the lakes there, and there was just one hole in the clouds shining a spotlight of sun down into the center of this lake onto this island. Probably, not the greatest quality photograph, but it was a really beautiful moment. I was glad to have captured
right.
it.
Well, that's kind of where I like to take this question because it's a very hard question to answer. But what I'm curious about is what makes photos favorites for people, whether it is a memory of the moment or the person who's in the photo or the composition, or for some people it's because they nailed it technically, so in general, what makes a good photo for you?
Wow. For me, it would be a balance of all those things. There's lots of photos I have that I keep simply because the memory of what it really looked like in my mind is triggered by that photo. It's like a reference, like a quick sketch. But I really, really love color and texture. I'm the kind of person that takes a lot of pictures of things that, the subject matter is
Secondary.
yeah, it's not what the thing actually is. It's what it appears to be as an abstract composition. So lenses would be a place I want to really go. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. I'm only going to mention this because the photo you described is kind of not like that. It's one of those monumental type of beautiful shots.
Right. Because that's more memorable.
Sure.
I've got hundreds of photos of just things that I think are pretty. And, my best photo I've ever taken was a piece of yarn in the sunlight.
I like that too, right?
with the sky blurred out in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
I can't remember, but
Well, the podcast that we're putting out tonight, the one we recorded last week, is with a photographer named Jay Maisel. And if you haven't looked at his work, check it out because he embodies this idea exactly.
Ooh,
I mean, it
beautiful.
doesn't matter what you're taking, it's how you do it and how you
Yes.
incorporate the light in the composition.
exactly.
If you were to win the GX85, how would you incorporate that type of camera into your work?
Oh, well, okay. My challenge right now is I'm out in the city quite a bit, walking around, riding my bike, and I really don't want to keep my huge camera around my neck, weighing my neck down, or having it in my backpack, hard to get to where I can't get it. So what I would do with that camera is keep it just on a lanyard or something where I could grab it really quick when I'm on my bike and do quick shots in the city. So I could have something a little nicer than what I'm getting with this old hand-me-down iPhone.
Great answer. All right, perfect.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks for your time, and subscribe to the podcast
Thanks,
when you get a chance.
I'll
Cool.
definitely check it out.
Yeah, you should.
All right. Cool.
Tonight's episode is...
Hi, your name is
Doug.
Doug. Welcome to the B&H Photography Podcast. Have you ever listened to our show before?
I actually have, yes.
Okay, very
Yes.
good.
Wow.
Okay, any episodes that stand out for you?
Just a couple of them just here and there in
Okay.
passing, so,
All right, the one that goes live tonight's a killer.
okay.
Stephen
wait.
Wilkes and Jay Maisel.
Yeah, it's going to be a good episode.
I'll be tuning in. What time?
It goes on live tonight
Yeah,
sometime.
well, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to put it up right around 6:30.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe too because it really helps us out. And were you just in the store by chance, or you came for the Panasonic event, or?
So I'm actually in town for a photo gallery that I took some photos for called Art Start. It's actually
Okay.
based in New York City.
Okay.
So they I'm from Wisconsin in Milwaukee, and they took photos of inner city kids from Milwaukee, kind of to change the narrative of how they view like inner city Black and Latino males specifically. So we asked them to go to a workshop, figure out, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then we had them work with a photographer, actually. So a couple ones from New York City, so that's why it's tied here. And they then took photos of them as their goals. So we had everything from like a rapper to a graphic designer. Somebody wanted to be Spider-Man when they grew up.
Who doesn't?
I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my dream.
And so the exhibit was here after all is said and done?
It's actually tonight.
Congratulations.
And
Whereabouts?
it's tomorrow at the Lincoln Center.
At Lincoln Center. Oh,
It's
that's
called
great.
Art Start Portrait Project.
All right, well, perfect. And you just hit B&H because you were in town? And
Yeah, I need some film.
You need some film. You're shooting film, eh? That's
Yeah.
great. What do you shoot with right now?
I have a Mamiya 645.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
big camera.
So a really
That's
old
great.
one.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, anyway, let's jump to this question first. Now that we're
Okay.
on the subject, if you were to win the GX85, what would you do with it? How
Would you
that,
return your film?
Yeah. Would you give up the Mamiya?
I probably wouldn't give up the Mamiya, but it'd be nice to have something that I could like carry with me a lot more. Because the Mamiya is like carrying like a piece of it's a metal football essentially.
yeah.
It's giant. So it'd be great to have something to carry with me. And then I'd really like to continue to work with Art Start. And I'm going to medical school hopefully next year, and I'd love to be able to bring it to the city where I end up in.
Yeah.
So
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. And of all the photos you've taken, what is your favorite photo and why?
I have this one photo of a friend from high school. We took it in high school. The reason I got into photography was like a photography class in high school. It was the only thing I had availability to take. And it's a photo of him silhouetted against a sunset, jumping off a trash can in rollerblades. He ended up falling and eating it pretty bad. But
Hey, but the photo came out,
yeah,
right?
it's
Just
just
it came out. That's all that counts.
it was just a memorable photo, and it just kind of whenever I look at it, it takes me back immediately. So
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's a great answer. And I we've been getting a lot of different answers, and I like that you kind of threw in this idea of photography, which to me is very important, obviously, which is memory.
yeah.
I mean, there's obviously composition, there's aesthetics, and there's profit, but memory is important.
And I think it was also taken on film, so I think it's something cool. I'm kind of a science nerd, so having these particles of light that hit somebody and bounce back, and I'm capturing them right there, and then they're held in perpetuity.
Right.
I think it's so cool.
It's magic.
And the
Yeah.
washy chemicals. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, Doug.
Cool.
Great answers.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Good
Thanks
luck.
for the
And be sure to
opportunity.
subscribe for the podcast too.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, man. Congratulations on the show tonight. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome, Vivian.
Hello.
Tell me about your favorite photograph that you've ever taken.
So my favorite photograph that I've ever taken is actually of my journal. So I have a blog called Journalography.
Yeah.
So I really just take pictures of my journal around all different places that I travel to. When I first started my blog, I started it on my birthday, and my boyfriend bought me a macro lens. He gave it to me as a birthday gift.
Okay.
So the best picture I've ever taken was the very first picture I took with that macro lens of my journal. And I used that picture to launch my blog. And the picture was so my journal is green, that's my favorite color. And it was just open, and this was in March, so it was still sunny outside, still has some, flowers blooming. And we were outside of a church. We just pulled over on the side of the road so he could finish some work. So I was like, okay, well, let me go outside and just go grab some pictures. So I saw this really pretty bush with pink flowers all over and had pink petals all around it on the ground. So I went over there and I laid my journal down on top of it and took some really nice pictures. Got some really good details because you could see like the pollen, the little yellow pollen from the leaves settling on the ground, and then you could see all the leaves around my journal. It was a really good picture, and that's my most memorable and favorite picture that I've ever taken.
Cool. Very nice. So if you are the lucky winner of the Panasonic Lumix GX85, what are you going to do with it? What kind of pictures do you think you're going to start doing? What video?
Well, so I like to take pictures of my journal because I like to take pictures. I don't really care to take pictures of people.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to start branching out to take pictures of people and see where that takes me.
All right. Good answer. All right. We are with Panasonic Ambassador, William Innes. How does it feel to be an ambassador?
I don't know. It seems pretty cool.
All right.
We used to be luminaries. Now we're ambassadors.
I thought
so.
it should have been Lumix Aries.
Oh, I like that.
So you are a Panasonic shooter, as we established. And what's your specialty?
I'm mainly a wedding photographer, but I have I speak for Panasonic on weddings, and I also speak for them on travel photography. So I've been to like 50 different countries. This has been an insane year. So I travel a lot. So I do a lot of photography for travel, but there's no money in travel photography. So you got to make a living. So hence weddings, and I do commercial photography too. So products and corporate clients I do some work for as well.
Let's talk a little bit about maybe your camera evolution, like what you started with, and the decisions you made to kind of bring you to where you are with Panasonic.
Sure, it's a bit of a funny story. So as a youngster, when I was 17 years old, eons ago, I started with an East German camera called a Pratica.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so shot with that, and then got myself into the aerospace industry, and career sort of took off, and there was a 13-year period where I didn't take one single photograph. I ended up running aerospace companies, and that's how I started traveling. And my wife sort of documented my kids growing up with,
So that you'd have a reference?
Yeah, hey, that's your son, whatever. And then about, 13 years ago, I was on a business trip in Washington, D.C., and was trying to kill time, and ended up in a store like this, and came out with, I remember it was a Nikon N70, a lens, and a flash. And I sat in a hotel room the whole night trying to figure out what TTL meant, because I had sort of missed that whole...
Right.
And then I'm a very all-in type of person. So a year later, I had a Nikon F100, I had a Leica M6, I had a Hasselblad X-Pan, and
Fun toys you had there.
I had a lot of toys. It cost me a lot of jewelry too. Actually, I tell people that's why I had a GoPro, because every time I'd buy a new lens or body, I'd have to buy my wife a piece of jewelry. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to steal her jewelry, sell it, and buy a camera, right?
Yeah.
All right, the other way around. Sounds good. So those are some pretty heavy, I don't want to say heavy in the physical sense, but heavy cameras. I mean, you're Nikon, you're Leica. These are the cameras that, you tend to find along in the hands of pros. How did that evolve into a career?
It was an expensive hobby, yeah. So that's how I started. But they were cool cameras, and they were just expensive toys for me at that point. But I was into landscape photography, and I took this one image in Greece, I don't know when it was, 12, 11 years ago, and with the X-Pan. And I entered in our little local community. We have like 70 guys that gets together, and they have like a meeting once a month. And they had like a photo contest, and I entered it, and they scored like 78 or something. So I felt like a loser. My wife's like, no, you got to enter that in National Geographic. I thought she was crazy. Well, to make a long story short, out of 14,000 images, scored in the top 10.
Okay.
Hey, free camera, published. I still go back to that group and talk, and I always show them that photo when I go back.
Isn't that funny, though, how, one photo can be judged in so many different ways?
It's amazing.
It's insane.
It's totally,
yeah.
and I judge now, so I get it. It's then my nephew from Canada called me, and he's like, hey, I'm getting married and I have no money. Would you shoot my wedding? And I spoke here this morning, and I showed a picture of me getting married in my powder blue tux with a cheesy pose. And that was sort of my reference to wedding photography, that it was cheesy. So I bought a book by Bambi Cantrell and Skip Cohen.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I power read that book, and I went up to Canada and photographed this wedding, and I'm like, man, this is sort of fun. Maybe when I retire, it's something I'll do. And then I was running this company about 12 years ago, and it was an absentee owner who would show up every now and then. He came in on a Friday and must have really flipped the switch, because I called it quits right then and there. And Monday morning, I was a wedding photographer with no clients.
Right.
But you did have a powder blue tuck.
I rented it, thank goodness.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber tried to bring it back, but it didn't work out. Yeah. So that's sort of how I started, and I just have grown from there.
And well, it's kind of interesting because that's late to start, and wedding photography is a hustle game, right? So how did you build, word of mouth and clientele that quickly?
That's a great question. So I believe in, I call it organic marketing. So just building relationships. And I think that's an issue today with a lot of the younger people, that they just want to sit behind their phones, their tablets. They want to use Facebook advertising, where I was the type to actually get out and hustle and meet people, meet venues, meet other vendors, build relationships. And very quickly, 95% of my business came from referrals. That's how I grew it.
And how long are you doing this for now?
I've been shooting weddings for probably 12 and a half years,
Okay.
full-time now.
All right.
I did 35 last year. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's full time, all right. Yeah. And just you? You have a team? You have
Team William.
pickup assistants,
No,
or-
it's funny. I have about 4 second photographers. They're all females, because I just feel they have a different eye, and I love working with them. They've been with me a long time. And then I'm getting on in age, so my wife insisted I get an assistant. And he was 17 when he started with me. Now he's 22, and he's amazing. He's a great shooter himself. He can shoot like Panasonic in one hand, Nikon in the other hand. And so when he's not helping assisting, he's actually out there taking photos and helping me out.
So you've been doing weddings for over 10 years. I think it'd be pretty fair to ask you this question and probably get an accurate answer. When faced with the choice, beef, chicken, or fish? Still works.
Still works, yeah.
I like the vendor sandwich myself.
Well, tell us again, how did you evolve to the Panasonic line, and what are you shooting with now, and
Yeah.
what are your go-to lenses?
I started because it was really weight. So again, 35 weddings, carrying 2 camera bodies, massive weight and size. It was killing me. The day after, I felt like I was hit by a truck. And some weekends, you're doing 2 or maybe even 3 weddings.
That takes a toll on you.
It does. My record was last year. I did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know. And so it was just sort of a natural progression to look for something that was smaller. So that's how it started. And I kept telling them, so I've been 5 years with Panasonic, but I kept telling them they have to have 2 card slots. That's a game changer. And when the GH5, I think it was, came out, or GH4, it had 2 card slots, and I went all in at that point.
Okay. All right.
So now I'm still shooting with the GH5 and the G9 are amazing cameras.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but you guys are giving away a GX85 today, and I showed images earlier that I took that camera with 3 lenses over to Venice, Italy. We had a bride and groom from LA do a pre-wedding shoot, which is a thing these days. It's
Yes.
a big thing. And 6 months before their wedding, and I had a human light stand, my wife with a strobe, and that's all I shot with was the GX85.
Oh, wow.
So this tiny little camera, and the images were amazing.
And did Panasonic say, hey, take this over there and work with it and show some images, or did...
It
how's
sort
that
of works
work?
in reverse. I sort of do chop. So one of the things I do speak on is travel photography, and I speak for Panasonic a lot on that. So I always have to create content. So that's why
okay.
I chop.
I got you. All right.
Oh, so those are legitimate write-offs then?
They are.
Okay, we're all right.
All right.
And we've been asking everybody, for this contest, what is the favorite photo you've ever taken?
I know. I heard you asking that question like an hour ago, and
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for an hour.
Oh, good.
And I don't have
you
an
still
answer.
don't have an answer. Yeah, the more you think about it, the harder it becomes, I think. Yeah.
I would still say, looking back at the image I described where I won the National Geographic contest.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love that photo.
There you go.
So.
Makes sense. Cool.
Okay.
And we don't have to ask him what he do with the GX85 because we already know.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Great. Thanks
right.
for having me, guys.
Pleasure time.
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying this edition of the B&H Photography Podcast. Send us a tweet at BHPhotoVideo, #BHPhotoPodcast.
David Kaplan, welcome to the B&H Photography Podcast. Have you ever listened to our show before?
I have not before.
You will, starting today.
I definitely will. I'm going to subscribe right after this.
Very good, very good. And there's going to be a quiz in 2 weeks on all the episodes we've had so far.
Oh, man.
We'll be in touch with you.
Better start studying. It's a good thing I have the next 2.5 weeks off.
There you go. See, everything has a plan. So,
That's right.
You're a photographer, and can you tell us about your favorite picture you've ever taken?
Yeah, so I would say my favorite picture that I've ever taken, I was recently on a trip to Oregon and was road tripping through the state and went to Crater Lake National Park.
Yeah.
And did like a 2.5 mile hike at night to get some astrophotography and got this beautiful shot of the galaxy over Crater Lake. And it's like this beautiful, like, dark purpley orange photo, and in like the cloud of the Milky Way galaxy you can almost see what looks like a phoenix like flapping its wings. So that's got to be my favorite one that I've taken so far.
Sounds good.
And
yeah,
it wasn't with the time exposure. It wasn't like star trails. It was just a tight shot.
it was a long exposure.
It was a long exposure.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
All right. Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And is that something you do a lot of night photography and long exposure work, or just you're trying it?
So I'm actually more a videographer and editor, and I'm really into nature, landscapes, traveling, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I have a Panasonic GH5, and I'm just starting to scratch the surface with what it can do from a photography standpoint and really use it to its full capacity. So.
And did you buy it for the video capability, more or
Yes.
less? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm a Final Cut Pro editor, and I was really into like the color data behind it and the vlog capabilities and your ability to just like extract so much color information out of the shots. I was doing a lot of research on which cameras to buy based on the things that I was looking for, and the GH5 was the top contender among other brands that I was looking at. And then when it came down to the price point and the versatility and the quality of the image you were getting, it just seemed like the best option.
So if you did win the GX85, what would you do with this camera if you won it?
I would just have it as a ready to go in my back pocket camera for traveling. So if I was trying to travel a little bit lighter, if I was going to other national parks, hitting some trails, didn't necessarily want to have like the full rig, but I still wanted something that would give me a great photo and still work with all the lenses that I have anyway, I would just have it as a nice little like smaller package camera to take with me on
It's
the
a
go.
great backup camera too.
Yep,
It's
that's
a great
right.
backup. Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys. Appreciate it.
Katya, hi. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
All right. Okay. So you came here today to B&H specifically to buy a Panasonic Lumix GX85.
Exactly. It was on my list that I wanted to buy the camera today. Actually, I can show. That's on my to-do list. B&H, choose camera.
Look at that. Amazing. Now, so you may not have to do that. You might just win one today.
Oh my God, I wish.
You know, now what are you going to do with all the money that you saved if you win it?
Oh my God.
You have plenty of things, right?
Maybe, yeah. I have to think about it.
So tell us about what's the favorite picture you've ever taken? Tell us about your favorite picture that you've taken.
So I believe that the picture of my hometown,
Yep.
it was from the window of my grandparents' house.
Where is that?
It's in Belarus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the city called Kobrin.
Uh-huh.
So, and I believe that's one of my favorite and mystical, and you know, it gives me goosebumps.
Nice. So, if you should win this camera, and if you don't win it, you're just going to buy one anyway. So, what are you going to do with it? How's it going to change your picture-taking habits?
You know, I recently was thinking that I used to take pictures a lot, but then I had to sell my camera and for some time just stop shooting at all. And now I feel like I came back to this understanding that I want to do this again.
Yeah.
I want to capture the moment to
Okay.
remember. So yeah, I definitely want to take more pictures and have an albums with everything that
Do you
surrounds
shoot
me.
video also?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
because this camera's perfect for video and stills. You get like the best of both worlds here.
Yep, absolutely. That's what I love, that you have both options. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a beautiful
Take
day.
care. You too. Okay.
So now that you, Andrew, right?
Andrew?
correct.
All right. So now that you have that little black piece of paper, there's no excuse for not subscribing to the podcast.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to follow you and we're going to hold you to it.
Not a
I'm a big
requirement to
podcast
win.
fan.
If you go
but,
into restaurants, we're going to go up to your table and you know, just make your life miserable. So anyway,
You're that guy?
welcome to the podcast. So tell us about your favorite picture that you've ever taken.
I think it was on my honeymoon, and I was in Barcelona, and my wife and I were in one of the museums, and there was a sort of a crosswalk, a walkway, and from the walkway you could see an intersection with thousands of people crossing the road. And from the angle that I was shooting, there was suddenly like a gap in all the people, and there was a couple embracing with the crosswalk with these dramatic vertical, the crosswalk. And it was a very wide crosswalk, so it's very strong horizontal stripes with the couple standing and a big crack kind of in the road in front of or behind them. And the way the whole thing kind of came together, I was very pleased with that photo.
Sounds good. I mean, you described it pretty accurately, yeah.
So the compositional aspect of what,
it's very graphic.
Not necessarily the memory of the honeymoon as much as the composition of the photo.
The honeymoon was good too. But
it was good too.
You got to throw that in.
No, but I'm curious because, some people's responses have everything to do with who they took the photo of or when.
Yeah. It's subjective,
and there's other people who are bringing in ideas of composition and light and things like that. So I'm curious.
I'm not a professional photographer. I paint, so most of my photos are actually images of my paintings, but I do like to shoot a lot, and they tend to not be so narrative, but this particular piece was narrative and formally pretty interesting, I thought.
Do you paint from your photographs?
No, the paintings are abstract.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Interesting.
Okay.
And what kind of camera were you using when you shot that, and what do you generally shoot with now? And do you think if you were to win a camera like this, would it change your photography a bit? Would you incorporate new aspects to what you're doing, or what do you think?
I've been, like I said, recently most of my photographs have been just getting good images of my artwork, but I would like to go and do some more creative shooting again. So some new gear always helps inspire that.
Absolutely. Great.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot, man. Talking to Michael. What's your last name?
Waity.
Waity. Okay. So, Michael, what's the best photo you ever taken?
I'd have to say the one I've taken at Anime Next. It was an anime convention held in Atlantic City every year. It was a professional cosplay couple, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, who completely nailed it. And I've chased them probably throughout the convention hall trying to get their picture. Luckily, I got luck on my side. I'm not a very good photographer, but I do get lucky. They managed to walk right into the light at that perfect moment with this stainless steel behind them, and it just captured them perfectly with the glass roof just funneling the light right onto them. It looked fantastic.
Did you ask them for the photo, or was a photo you took on the slide?
No, I did. I asked them for the photo, out of breath, of course, because I was chasing them throughout the photo place. Yeah.
Right, cool. And did you post it? Did you get feedback from it?
I posted it on Instagram. They loved it. They reposted it as well. And so far, it was like beginning of the summer. Still to this day, people say that's the best photo I've taken.
Great.
What'd you shoot it with?
GH5.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. So you ran a Panasonic cap.
All right.
And if you win the GX85, what will you do with it?
Probably shoot more cosplay. Definitely. We have Anime NYC coming up, so I'm going to be hitting
cool.
that up.
That's awesome.
So you already have the GH5. So how would you compare? Like if you're the GX5, which is a big camera, probably the top of the line, one of the top of the line cameras they have. This is a little smaller bodied. Would you use it for something different or just more of the same?
More of the same. Because it's so small, I mean, you could easily take it out easier. You get a lot of on-the-spot shots. I also do street photography as well.
Great.
Sacred Cities NYC is the Instagram. And then there's, it's perfect for that type of thing.
Great. Perfect answer. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Michael.
All right, we've just been joined by Griffin Hammond, who is a Panasonic ambassador.
I am, yeah.
Used to be called a Lumixosity person. What was another term for you?
I never...
Illuminati or Luminixonati or something like that?
I don't think I ever was. I was brought on with the GH5.
Oh, okay. So you're just an ambassador.
Yeah.
So what's your specialty? Do you do stills, videos, or both?
I call myself a documentary filmmaker.
Okay.
So everything I do is either short films or corporate videos, but it's all done in documentary style. I'm a very video-focused person, yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming using Panasonic gear.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using these cameras since the GH1.
Right.
Just that's what I happened to buy because at the time I thought that was a good camera. And then I got the GH2, then I got the GH3. And
Every generation has gotten that much better.
Oh, yeah.
For stills and video, but video in particular, I know a lot of the people we know that do video, that's their camera, that's their machine.
Yeah, well, I've always liked it from a video perspective because they've added a lot of features that video people like.
Yeah.
They're not just photo cameras.
Yeah, yep.
But do you shoot stills as well, or?
I've gotten more comfortable with it, especially with the GH5. I mean, I suppose the last few generations of this camera I've had, I could always take stills.
Sure.
I just didn't trust myself that I would be able to do a good job. But I think because I started spending a lot of time around other Panasonic ambassadors, a lot of photographers using the same camera I was using, I just thought I should probably switch my camera into RAW and see what I can do.
And prior to that, were you using your phone, or you had a point and shoot, or whenever you wanted to grab a still, what would you do?
I mean, I just never took too many stills. I guess it was always on my phone,
Yeah, okay. I was curious.
But now I'm using Lightroom and I'm shooting a lot of photos.
All right.
Have you tried the photo mode, the 4K photo mode, where you could pull stills out of your video?
I haven't, because usually I guess I feel like I want to be shooting RAW and shoot 4:3.
Okay.
Use the full sensor, yeah.
Gotcha.
And I kind of want to like have my brain either in video mode or in photo mode.
think that's pretty
I hate it when clients say like, "Hey, as long as you're shooting this video, you mind shooting a few photos too?" It's like,
Doesn't
no,
work
I'm
Yeah,
not
you
going to
already
remember
got
to
it
do
up
it.
to your eye. What's the problem? I know. Well, actually, with the beauty
You
of
got
the,
an eye,
of
you
the
got a finger.
4K
Right.
photo mode is that you can just do video, but you could pull an 8K,
Right.
still, which is you can
But
do
how,
things
but
with
how
that.
easy is that, though? I mean, I've never found that, to be a plan. I mean, I think maybe you can do it if it's absolutely necessary, but
Well, I think it's good backup. I don't think
backup.
anybody relies
Yeah.
on it strictly for stills.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's
I mean-
nice to know that if you're shooting, if you don't have time to do both, you do have the option to pull a still out of it. You have to go look for it, but you have the option. That's what I think is the important part.
I mean,
about
I
it.
covered the presidential election for Bloomberg Television, and that's the sort of situation where you would want something like that, where I'm there to shoot video, I'm pointing the camera at Hillary Clinton while she's talking, but someone on the social media team is going to ask me for some photos too.
And you've got it.
And they don't
You just pull
need maximum resolution. They just need something really high quality.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you get out of that. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So tell us about your films a little bit.
Yeah. So the first big film I made was a documentary called Sriracha, which is about the hot sauce.
Yeah.
And I made that in 2013, shooting on a GH3. And I think that was what started to get me on Panasonic's radar. And making that film was the smartest career move I ever did. It was just a passion project, but it's led to everything. It moved me here to New York. Someone at Bloomberg Television saw the film and said, "We'd love you to cover the presidential election of all things," after making a hot sauce documentary.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that seems logical to me. That's a
How long was
perfect
the
progression.
Film?
It's a 33-minute film, so it's
Yeah.
a short film technically,
Right.
but for me, that's the longest thing I've made.
Was it about the kind of the making of the sauce, the history of the sauce, cultural touchstones, or what was the film about?
I got into it because I felt like this was a product I was using every single day, and I'm a
Right.
big fan of it, and yet I knew
Nothing.
almost nothing about
Right.
it. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what country it came from when
Right.
I first started. It's made in California, the popular brand that people like.
Yeah.
And so I went to California and met the owner, this immigrant from Vietnam who's been making it for 30 years.
I knew that. Yeah, that's interesting.
And so I told his story.
Oh, that's great.
And it became a much bigger project than I thought it would. I eventually went to Thailand because that's where the sauce originally comes from. So I really just was curious and wanted answers to my questions.
And from there, what was your next film, or where did you go? I mean, Bloomberg, but what else?
Well, I was a freelancer for a few months, and then Bloomberg called, and so I moved to New York, and then I spent the entire presidential campaign just out on the campaign trail, covering Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump and everyone. And it turned out to be the craziest election then.
You think?
I mean, this was the first time I ever covered politics, and
Right.
we went into it thinking it'll be Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton. It'll just be another Bush
Right.
Clinton. This will
Right.
be the most boring election.
Right. Good point. Yeah. And not quite so.
And little did we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Here we are.
I'm still wearing my seatbelt, but that's
And then around the time that started to wind down, that's when I started talking to Panasonic about working with the GH5. And so they became one of my important freelance clients where now I teach some classes for them. I get to shoot with cameras and make films. With
So can you talk a bit about that, about how you reached out to them and you said, hey, I made this film with your camera. I'd like to work with you guys. Or how did that
I
relationship
actually never
start?
reached out to them.
Okay.
But I always thought I should have a relationship with them because
yeah.
I'd been doing a lot of tutorial videos. I had a very popular how to set up your GH4 video.
Okay.
And I was making all these kind of YouTube videos, working with their products a lot, and people kind of came to think of me as an ambassador for them unofficially. And I thought I should have some sort of relationship. And when I moved to New York, it was perfect. But they found me.
Interesting.
They had seen Sriracha, they'd seen my YouTube videos, and I think when it came time to develop the GH5, they called me up. And
And what does being an ambassador entail?
I'm not under any contractual obligation to use the camera, or they don't tell me what to do, but they gave me the GH5 before anyone else and just said, could you shoot something with it? We'd like to show people what it's capable of. So I made a short film called Hand Cut, which is about ice and cocktails. And they used that at trade shows, and they used it on YouTube to show what the camera does. And then because I was the first guy who shot a documentary with it, then they would ask me to show up at trade shows and show up here at B&H today and just talk about my experience with it.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, what we're doing today is we're trying to raise awareness of our podcast, which is now in its third year.
Wow.
We got almost 150 episodes. We do one a week. And we're giving away a Panasonic camera, and we're asking people what is their favorite photo they've ever taken and why. And I know you're a videographer primarily, but what is your favorite photo that you've ever taken?
One of my favorite photos that I've taken within the last year was I started shooting infrared photos because I have all these Panasonic cameras, and once Panasonic started giving me a GH5, I had like an extra GH4 sitting around, and so I had it converted to infrared. And it's made me really appreciate New York in a way that I didn't fully appreciate, because New York feels like a place there's not a lot of green. My neighborhood in the Lower East Side doesn't have a lot of parks, and you just come to feel like you're in this concrete jungle. But once you're walking around with infrared, you see all the trees in bright white, and I start to realize, every block has something, And so I took this photo of in the Lower East Side downtown. Just the sky looks gorgeous in infrared because it's very high contrast, and you can see some trees.
Cool. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's great talking to you guys.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah,
Same here.
absolutely. Okay. Pleasure. Thank you, man.
We are now being joined by Jeff Carpenter, who is a Panasonic ambassador.
So we were checking out your website earlier today in prep for this, and there's a lot of portraiture, but a lot of wedding work also, right? What's your main? How do you make most of your money?
Most of my money is made through corporate headshots. Really, that's kind of the big thing. So I live outside of Nashville, Tennessee. It's kind of growing, not like New York is growing, but it's for what it is. When I've been there for about a little over 10 years now, and it's really, really grown since I've been there. And a lot of companies are moving their headquarters there. I don't really know why. I think there's tax reasons, whatever. A lot of people are moving there. They're rebranding. So what that does is that opens up a lot of opportunities for me as someone in my company who does a lot of corporate work. Is we kind of encompass all of that. So we've got I do headshots. We've got people that do video design, kind of all. They're not on staff. We kind of freelance out and kind of just grab people as we need them. But yeah, it's been a great experience to do that. And like I said, to answer your question, a lot of my income for Ready Light Media is based around like the corporate world.
And
definitely.
I'm sure every situation is different, but do you provide a general setup when you show up? I'm assuming most of it happens at the location, the corporate location where these people work. So you need to show up and be ready for everything. Do you bring seamless with you, lights, the whole thing? Or how's that work?
If I'm shooting, I'll typically try and get a feel for what they need ahead of time. Preparation is key. So
It helps.
it's 50-50 between like them coming to my home studio or me going to them. If it's a big group, I basically kind of structure things in a way where if it's, the more people, the less per person it is, just to kind of incentivize getting it all knocked out at one time. But if it's one person, I'll be like, just come to my home studio. I just think I'll walk through my kitchen to get there, but whatever. Right. So what I'll do is I'll kind of see what they need. I'll kind of base, their needs on that. I'll be like, okay, like, do you need multiple looks? Do you need one look? Is it just a simple white background? Like I deal with a lot of realtors too, and for them, I'm just like, okay. A lot of people don't know. I hear the phrase, well, you're the professional. What do you think? All the time. So, I'll do some research, see what they need. Like I just did a rebrand for a realty company that was just switching brokerages. And weirdly, and I looked at their website and it's all over the place. All of their images were, somewhere on black, somewhere like from the 80s, somewhere from a cell phone. Sure. So. But
you'd be surprised. I was looking at... what was it the other day? It was a well-known photo institution on their about page and their staff page, And you'd think they would take the time to kind of uniform their look, but they hadn't done that. It was
really,
like you said. I mean,
you would be
someone
amazed
looking
at how
over
many
here,
photographers have terrible headshots.
I'm sure.
It's-
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I'm not too surprised about that, but yeah. But yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but you think it's like, you're trying to sell your service, at least, do yourself a favor and get a decent headshot.
Yeah, totally. And what's your like Panasonic evolution? What cameras did you start with?
So I
and
started
what are you using
with
now?
my first experience with Panasonic at all was the GH4, and really on more on the video side. One of my videographers that I worked with shot with the GH4, and we were shooting in a recording studio, and I was shooting DSLR, and I was having to use quiet mode and run out the door, and I couldn't shoot while they were tracking.
Oh, yeah.
It was a huge nightmare. He was shooting video, granted, but he's sitting here with a basically silent camera, and I was like, what is this? So my first actual camera was the G7 that I bought. I bought a couple of them, really more for video, just to have kind of get in with the 4K game. And I started using those a little more just for kind of personal portrait projects, just because they're smaller and they're easy to carry around with me, and I didn't have to, lug around a big old heavy DSLR body. And then I got the G85, and that was just similar. It didn't have the low pass filter, so the image quality was a little better, and then it had the internal stabilization, which wasn't a necessity for me, but it was a nice feature to have for sure.
Yeah.
And then. But that one still had a couple, caveats of like not being able to use it as a full-time shooting camera for me doing portrait stuff, especially in studio, like in tethering being the big thing there. So with the G9, the GH5 did it as well, but the G9 being more geared toward photographers and myself being, primarily still photographer.
Yeah.
It was finally something I could actually use on a daily, and use it as my daily shooter. So,
okay. Well, sounds good.
Yeah.
What do you shoot for fun? Like if you
for
just
fun, I'm still
I
I shoot people all the time for fun, and my dogs. So.
Cool. All right, great.
Hey,
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, we had a great day recording in the SuperStore, and now it's time to announce the winner of the Panasonic Lumix GX85 mirrorless camera with a 12 to 32 millimeter zoom lens and 45 to 150 millimeter zoom lens. That's pretty good just for answering a couple of easy questions. Now, the winner of this camera is, drumroll, Stanley Sterrell. And we're going to be in touch with Stanley after he receives his camera and has had a chance to play with it. But in the meantime, let's hear what Stanley had to say when we interviewed him here in the store. Stanley, we've been waiting for you.
I know, I heard, so I ran down.
I mean, there was a rumor you were going to be here today, but I figured when I see him, I'll believe it. Stanley, welcome to the show.
It's great to be here.
You ever listened to the B&H Photography
I have not.
Ooh, okay.
Right.
Well, you're going to
Right.
sign up tonight and subscribe.
Take that black little piece of paper and be sure to subscribe.
I have it here.
Lots of great
Awesome.
shows.
Thanks,
Lots of
man.
great shows we have. They're all archived.
Yeah.
So, you're a photographer.
Yes, sir.
And can you tell me about your favorite photograph that you've taken and why is it so special?
Do you guys take I Don't Know?
I don't know.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Or you could say there's just too many to choose from, right?
Yes.
Oh, right, because I'm so good. There's a
Oh, that photograph.
So, I mean, thinking back, I'm just moving to New York just now. From Miami.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so everything is just so.
Okay.
Well, I moved in April though.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of like cold spring, but it's turned out good so far. So I've been able to see like different scenarios and different scenery, but my best one was going out into the Hudson for a wedding. We set off on a boat. It was just me, videographer, the bridegroom, and the officiant. I'm a huge fan of cinematic style. So for me, it was just an amazing feeling to be on the boat. It was a cloudy day, rain just misting throughout the environment. The atmosphere was set for me that I can just put up my camera and just take it. But the greatest thing about it was that the couple was just so enthusiastic and just so lovey. So as I'm taking these photos, I'm feeling it as well. Like so romantic. Like I feel the romance, I feel the love. And so a good picture to me is something when you look at it, you gain some type of emotion or some type of feeling out of it. So when I look back at that photo of the bride and the groom just hugging each other at the front of the boat, just laughing, throwing their hands up in the air, it just draws me into it. Right. And I'm hoping it does it to everyone else too.
You were saying that it was a foggy day or it was a misty day.
Yeah.
Does that aspect of it have something to do with the emotion that you're drawing from the photo, or is it really just the faces and the expressions?
Well, I think it all comes together.
Yeah.
So when you think of happiness, joy, you just kind of think of sunshine and you know, but to have like such a cinematic of like a cloudy gray, but still we're still happy. You know what I mean? It brings a contrast to it that you gotta love. You know. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. All right.
For sure.
And if you were to win this camera, how would you incorporate it into your work, and what would you do with it?
Well, I'm a wedding photographer, so yeah. So
you find a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll make use of it.
Exactly. Cool. Big time. It was great being here with you guys.
Perfect.
Yes.
Great answers.
Thanks for joining
Thank you so
us.
much, man. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
All righty.
You having fun yet? Okay, that wraps up another episode. Thanks to Griffin Hammond, Jeff Carpenter, and William Innes, who are Panasonic ambassadors. And thank you to all the folks who took the time to tell us about their favorite photo. If you're not a subscriber to the B&H Photography Podcast, don't wait any longer. Take a moment and head on over to Apple Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, YouTube, or Stitcher and sign up. It won't cost you a dime. It's free. For now, and as always, on behalf of Jason, John, and myself, thank you so much for tuning in today.